10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Dire team pick.
Earth Spirit.
Radiant team pick.
I'm Ray. You are very soft. I think you may have done something like
Beastmaster.
Vengeful spirits.
Hello, hello.
it's fixed. Thank you. Save my ears.
Radiant
Oh wait,
team
what?
ban.
I don't get it. Alright, but okay, so here we are. Okay, time both teams not hesitating. Okay, once again, just quickly introducing Team
Dire
Taring
team ban.
versus TNC. Taring from Malaysia, TNC Philippines. This is the StarLadder series Southeast Asian group stage. So I mean, here we are. Both teams, no hesitation, started out with your pretty standard picks. Taring go with the Earthspin and Witch Doctor. TNC, they will go with the Beastmaster and Venge. I mean, the last time we saw a Venge on TNC, they picked up Oracle.
Dire
But in
team
this
ban.
case, it's probably like just gate the possibility of a Bat Rider. But I mean, what are your thoughts so far in the game? Do a quick recap.
Well, for sure, both teams have shown that they're full of beat each other. Obviously, for TN, much more convincing compared to Taring, where last game was a bit shaky either way. But for Taring, they managed to pull on through. I feel like for last game for TN, as the game drew later and later, their support started to fall off. I feel like for game 1 for TN, there was actually a lot of heavy lifting coming out from both EU as well as Cuckoo, both of them being the heavyweight support, being able to keep their allies alive, being there with stuns, disable, setting up for the cause. So if you're Taring, you've got to sort of focus down on the supports first. Make sure you can prevent EU as well as Cuckoo from pulling out those early plays, and then I feel like that's an opening for them to sort of jump into the rest of the cause. Say that the cause in themselves are weak without the support, you still have to respect that. But I think a step in the right direction, sharp EU as well as Cuckoo first. Rather curious, does Taring go back for the Yamate Tiny again? Because we've seen him for 2 games in a row. Game 1 it was a disaster. Game 2 it definitely worked. Would you pull it out in a 3rd game? Because you'd say by now TN sort of figured out Yamate's Tiny by now.
Hopefully not, because Gyrocopter against Tiny Mid is a disaster. That's just asking to get stomped, because TNC have been known to play the Gyrocopter mid. And I mean, just one more thing to point out is that with the Venge and the Beastmaster plus the Disruptor to boot, we might even see TNC pick up the Drow this time. Orange, they haven't banned it out, and with the Tidehunter, they can actually do a lot of damage to the Tide.
Seems like a very reasonable pick. Taring though, they've got a lot of team fight control. I think that's the biggest thing. They've got a Tidehunter, Ravage, Witch Doctor, Deathward, Earth Spirit for that roaming. Well, thing is, this time, running a Tidehunter, this is not going to be able to provide you much in terms of damage. He'll be great for utility. That's roughly about it. Whereas, for the last game, it was a bit of a different story. It was a Darkseer that would scale as the game progresses. Tidehunter scale as much as his abilities will, so the double Ravage, and that's about it. Taring pull out the Razor. He as a possible pick. We're gonna see it in game 3 against what TNC have right now. I'm not a big fan of the Razor, unfortunately, but maybe you can shed some light as to why the Razor is a good pick here.
He can be a good mech carrier, but in this case with the Tide, you don't really need that. And be a Shonix safe lane Razor. Razor is just one of those heroes where, I mean, yeah, you can be, it's okay, I get it, most people are skeptical, they're doubtful of the play. Not many players have actually mastered the Razor, like say Fata from EU, from the Liquid side, but Razor in general just able to clear creep very nice. He's gonna nuke, and when you steal the damage to the static link, especially when Gyrocopter wants to be close to you to do the majority of his early game damage, he's just gonna steal all that and turn it into right click and the unstable current, extra speed, and when people try to target him, he's not the easiest hero to bring down. And he quite mobile, and it's also just great for the push in general. The Eye of the Storm, you go for the eggs, it gives you stats, and it helps you siege. Deals so much damage, it's not even funny to laugh at.
Especially when he grabs that Ags Razor. Do you remember the days when Ags Razor Refresher was a thing? I guess it's kind of still is a thing, but when people would just always pick it up, hilarious. Like a seizure playing Dota. Physically, was it? I'm looking for a word here. Just visually blind your enemy to win the game. Oh jeez. But the Razor pick, okay. I'm not a big fan of the Razor. I think it's just because I haven't had a good history of watching. Razor is on a similar level to Venom as when I spectate games. Like for some reason, those heroes will always lose. Whereas for you, I think you said Luz was your hero that would always lose. And Luna last pick for Taring. Now this is a hero that we very rarely see. I'm just trying to remember who was it that pulled out the Luna quite recently.
Miracle.
Oh, wasn't it?
He did the Aghanims refresher thing, the machine gun Luna. I'm not even sure how he got to that little farm so quickly, but I realize it's what he does, because with the Aghanims, I mean, not only does he help you kill so much quicker, like just wow. I mean, I've played with him a couple of times where he just used that in pub strats. I was just like, Luna mid, you sure? And he's like, yeah, trust me, and then boom, 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 you shoot it, bam, 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 and you're just like, you're just like, I want to try this, and when I try, I'm like, okay, how the hell does he make it work?
I still feel like Luna as a carry, you look at her skill set, it looks. One biggest downside to her is that Eclipse's cooldown so long. And 40 seconds, like if you blow that Eclipse for a really crappy team fight, that's not going to be available for more than minutes. So, for the Luna, whenever you try and engage into a fight, you have to 100% commit all the time when you pop the Eclipse. Because I don't really see a way for you to re-engage, because right now, Taring's draft is all about the ult. You've got the Ravage, Eclipse, a Deathward, Magnetize, everything that you want to have in a 5. Without those spells, like Taring's draft looks pretty.
Drow Ranger.
There we go.
There was the Drow. So both these teams have a decent aura strat, but TNC, of course, with the majority of the auras in the Vengeance aura, you can do Roshan at a super sick pace. This is definitely the gyro mid. So yeah, you could tell that's why Yamate picked up the Razor, because of the nuke. You don't want to be taking meta hero again, that's just not ideal. And Razor safe lane probably wouldn't be that efficient. So this is going to be like who gets to allow NJ to go farm into the blink, and Razor going for the mech. This way they can come online pretty easily as a team, much as these individual heroes. They can mid the mid game transition quite easily. TNC, however, just even without items, the nature of these heroes is just not something to scoff at. I mean, really, Drow, Gyro, and I mean this takes care of Gyro's base damage issues, where I think it was like reduced by 4 his base damage, and we talked about how it will affect his last hitting, but with the Drow,
damage, so much damage. Wow,
44.
Oh, 44. I was like
42 now.
damage?
He's like 42 base damage now. I mean, what kind of safe lane carry has 42 base damage? Really?
Crystal Maidens. Crystal Maiden levels.
She's not a carry.
Like,
I think
I'm pretty sure Crystal Maiden's like 39, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't played Crystal.
If Decky.
His is pretty. No, Meepo's pretty bad. Meepo's base damage is pretty shoddy.
Poof. Yes. Poof, you know?
At least Gyrocopter is rocket barrage. I guess like you don't want to rocket barrage your. Hey, if you're a good carry, you always see us, no matter what. So the game's gonna start. I guess off like the major difference between the two drafts is Taring are relying on these big, long cooldown ultimates. Have a draft that have relatively low cooldowns on all of their major souls. Raw only has a second cooldown at level 1. You've got Drow Ranger that doesn't have an ult, you're just going to Gust. You're going to have Cuckoo with the swap all the time. Cooldown on Static Storm, pretty reasonable as well. 90 seconds at level 1. And obviously cooldown's ridiculous. 5 seconds. level 1. That's a really ridiculous spell, considering the cooldown as well. So, hoping that the consistent uptime of their spells is going to be
Oh, they
completely
made us
worth
bump into
it.
NJ. We have
Did I
a
get him?
glimpse. No, I think he doesn't have the range, does he?
Oh, we got it.
Oh, bye bye! In the middle of 5 heroes, NJ, not the start you wanted. He did go for the level 1 point into the anchor smash, but it's not going to save you nowhere close. It takes care of physical damage, but it doesn't save you from the countless missiles coming from the gyro. So you can see already, he does 60 damage. He's going to last hit quite effectively playing against the Razor 7, but you know, the tiny bit, once you put 55 base damage, doesn't really care. So AO,
Ice
kind of
is
hanging
looking at
around.
the roof. Right for this. Obviously not, but been pretty. Ice is able to go for a nice little nab there. But instead he's gonna go
Oh,
for
Danny.
the body block about mid. Sure that the creep wave favor or
Yeah.
the Razor, just because Cuckoo he was there for the blocks, but assuming that Ice came into the box earlier, should be a favorable lane here for Yamate, considering the creep equilibrium.
I think it's still gonna be okay. Cuckoo also went to help him out. Yeah, it's gonna be dead even.
Oh, that's even. Never mind. I lied. So look at E.
No gold.
Already 30 seconds into the game, and he is in a position to go for a snipe onto Yamate. Or at least just be in a spot to help his allies out if they're in trouble.
Yeah, they've identified as well that Raven can very easily against this Tide Hunter. So he has to be careful though. Because the threat of the glimpse back, there we go, into the magic missile. He doesn't have a Kraken shell to debuff anything. Look at the amount of damage he's taking.
Oh, 2 more hits.
One more right click, he 9.
Oh, that's not enough.
Oh, one more hit, 9.
He's dead. He's dead. Oh, just needed one more hit. Moments like this, when you wish Vengeful Spirit had regular range.
Witch Doctor did kill off Sam H at the top lane.
Oh,
Shonix,
so good.
Luna blessing. Luna, Pasalamene.
Really good though for that top lane, especially if you're running a Luna. You want to get as much momentum as possible, so you start to snowball. Group up, go for the death ball push, take those objectives every single time your spells are up. Because if you're always going to be Taring just because of Ravage. Everything on this Taring is so scary, but once all the spells have been unloaded and there's nothing left, so it'll be pretty. Assuming that they're in a healthy hate, if they're too low, then we all know what's going to be happening. And it seems like Tide is just sort of abandoned. Like Jay's like, nope, free Disruptor. I already went for my Iron Talon first, but he's just going to kill levels this way.
It is more efficient. And he's very lucky he got the Seder camp tangos to boot, so Raven can actually start bottom lane more. I'm not surprised if they want to just like push it in, but that's just a way to force the Tide back into the lane. This middle lane, however, is still pretty even. 10-3, and if you look at Razor, pretty much the same as the Gyro, who only had like one last hit advantage. Tough game.
Ice is in the middle lane too. You're about jumping on, but not
Been
really
thinking
in the
about
spot.
a lot of things actually. Do I contest Rune? Can I try ganking this guy? And doesn't really end up doing it because the positioning is just so hard for him to do anything.
Yeah, and they can't even go for the Q and throw him in the off lane either, just because of that disruptor. Glimpse, it's such a huge threat. And you can take a look at the supports here for TNC. Back to this style of play, gotta go for a Yamate. So, wraparound is there. The question is, can they kill him in time? Also, where
No, I
is
think
this
they wanna-
Earth Spirit?
You may consider going into the jungle instead. Oh yes, this is a very very nice prize if they find NJ, but
They want the Razor.
they want Razor.
Oh, Ling's actually in lane as well, so it could be 3 versus 2, but unfortunately for Ling, quite far away. Stun's there, and that's going to be the end of that Razor. Very nice gank.
So that will be his phase boots.
Dire's middle tower is under
Hee
attack.
Jarek up to mid, and Titan did the suicides to the new creeps apparently.
Gone
Or
back
they-
to Huntston. He bought all of his items. Up in the top lane here, Sam H.
Still level 1. Doesn't have an Iron Talon. Draw already has, you know, treads. At level 6 so that he can get a stronger buff. Gyro's damage is not something to laugh at anymore because the natural damage thanks to the Drow Aura just does so much damage.
Under attack.
I love what Ling was actually. They saw. Oh god, they're gonna get the kill here. Page, but actually,
Sam
Ling
H.
might die first. Oh,
No,
what
no,
a
not
close.
happening.
What I wanted to point out was Tronix as well as Ice. They saw the Beastmaster summon both of his units, so Ling shifted a little bit more to the right side just so he wasn't going to get spotted out by the bird. Also, very nice kill onto the Razor again. Kill in a row for this mid lane, so Teehee
Radiant's top tower.
a very good time in that mid lane. Because I try and jump onto
Oh,
it, but
the
they
roll in
miss.
misses. It would have been a very nice kill. You see, NJ even went for the level 1 gush, which now kind of affects his jungling. Because you know, with the Kraken Shell, he can jungle so much better. But now, not like this.
Soak up the EXP mid, considering how the Razor's
Casual
not.
gush.
So.
Yes, bottle. No. Oh wait, he has no bottle. What?
Oh, drunk man. Drunk mate.
I guess because I'm so used to seeing, like, for example, when Filipino teams used to play a lot of Razor. Like, I remember, I think was it the Arcanis? Mineski back then, they used to play a lot of Razor, and bottle was always a staple item, but not so much now. So Yamate, he's going for that Aquila into drums. Teehee will probably do the same because he already has the phase and the Wraith Band. Fox is discounting things out. Extra gold maybe for Ling. Nope, he gets the Wildkin. Time H level 3. No, he's not struggling as much as before thanks to these levels. He can just use the boar to just, you know, farm. But Drow is the top of the last hit chart right now. Just look at 41 and 26. Following his creep equilibrium, very, very nicely done. And with the stacks as well, yeah, he's actually going to steal it. He's going to steal this triple stack if he can, but he just doesn't have the damage. Oh, mana pool.
You could just stick around and soak the EXP. That's
he's
for a
too
dive,
far.
by the way.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The help of Kook. I didn't get to see that in Smoke as well. They want to go for a rotation in the top lane. Beastmaster's here and pressure, but let's not forget, Luna is a very fragile carry. She has no escape
think they
mechanism
know,
outside
though.
of her high movements.
But they have to know. Actually, maybe not.
Down. Oh, gets
Boom,
hit.
it's slow. Do we have to stun?
More as well.
Magic
He's-
missile. Oh, coconut and the boy. Maledict. Do we have any more damage? Rory
It
may be
stuns.
savage, but you don't have the levels. That's so sad and wasted time. So Ice is gonna just soak up solo EXP. But here at the bottom lane, Raven does glimpse. He's gonna save his TP. So Raven's gonna TP out AO. Doesn't have a TP, but the wind lace. 365. He's just kiting them around still right now at this point.
Is there and Yamate's definitely got
Hey.
get lost. Rip. Rest in peace.
You.
There we go. You believed.
Right.
Because you believe does not mean heroes are going to survive. So, couple of kills on the board. We're about almost a little bit more than 1 kill so far. So the game's pretty action-packed, what it is. And you can definitely tell both teams they're trying to get as much control as they can during the laning phase. They can snowball.
Here's Yamate. Gets extra damage. Oh, if Ice was there in the nick of time, that would have been beautiful. Ayo needs the level 6, not gonna get it yet. He's to farm. Raven has the mob mask, so he's gonna take to just farming ancients, jungling, and this is gonna be maximum efficiency from the lanes for the EXP distribution. As Sam H, the very, very much desired level 6, which he will get after this creep wave as the supports
Oh,
just
Ice.
Ling in lane.
Ice?
Oh,
Ooh.
he pops it, except the creep wave will soak it up, and there's a regen room there, very nicely for Yamate.
Oh, the gust?
Oh,
Now Raven's on
Raven!
the high ground.
Pew 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 pew. But no, the status
Oh.
soaking up the damage, and then he will take the regen. He back in lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
That-
attack.
Happened. Did roll a dice and he because that's practically what happened. And kill on top of that as well. Raven in perfect position to help his ally.
Taring just
So
went
good.
proud to be there. That was an MVP gust. The tiny little path where he just walks
Dire's
up,
middle tower is
like
under attack.
blows them away. Next thing you know, 2 heroes here. Of course, there's a bit of luck. A bit bad luck where the Satyr soaked up a bit of damage, but it didn't matter. Teehee got the kill anyways, and now with the regen, he can happily stay in lane even longer. Now that he's level 8, you look at the levels wise, TNC definitely have the edge.
Dire's middle tower
And also Quiz on cooldown because unfortunately they whiffed it in the river, so Shonix is not going to have access to that, which means that he.
Did. The whole kampong like to the top part of the river, the whole creek.
Oh, they're jumping on the EU.
EO is dead. Just yet.
Easy. Not really much to say about these kills. A lot of these kills going to both squads, they've been more or less kills outside of the gyrocopter kill, so a little bit of extra action happening, so not really seeing anyone going for a full team engage yet. It looks like
Sam
they're
here,
gonna try and jump on a
Shonix,
Shonix. Roar.
the roar, Raven, will they have the gusts? No, this is gonna rack him down in the boards, they will have enough damage. Oh, that was a very much needed kill for TNC. And this pretty much opens up the top tier 1 as well. The mid tier 1 down, this is where TNC can actually start to slowly snowball out of control. Ice is just behind, gonna put the ward down maybe? Nah. Well, the thing isn't all of it. In the kinetic field.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Very nice kill on Celine.
Kinetic field.
I sometimes get that with Disrupt. But yep, kinetic field, very nice snipe there. Also one tower taken down already, well, at last, by one of the TNC grabbing a T1.
This room,
Got Taring. Oh, so ready to kill onto Yamate.
Yeah, this could be really big for him.
Yep.
Yamate pops the magic missile and the call down gonna use. Oh, look at that damage and Yamate will fall. There was no way you could have seen the Invis rune coming.
Very nice setup coming.
See? He may find ice. Sun vision, he sees him. Where's the glimpse? Where's the glimpse? You need to flash strike. Use glimpse back!
Oh,
bye!
That's big.
Bye!
Gonna sting.
Ward down before he dies. But at the same time, Drow takes the T2.
I love supports that do this. If they know they're going to die, they'll throw down the last of their items if necessary. So it's not just observer wards, but also sometimes you'll see supports throwing out spells before they die because they know they're not going to get it off afterwards. Good stuff coming out from the Earth Spirit. Like he died, but at least it's going to make vision in the side of the map, because for Taring they want to play aggressive. Keep an eye on these heroes. So if anything, maintain that vision, because once the vision is gone, they're not going to know where TNC is. But regardless of that, we're about 12 minutes into the game, and if you take a look at net worth, Brow as well as Joe are leading first 2 positions, followed by Luna. And compare the farm, Luna's behind by 2k. That's a huge discrepancy, especially considering that Taring is running a draft that is heavily reliant on 5-man team fight engage their ultimate. Luna falls behind. There's gonna be in the point of no return if TNC starts to beat them at their own game, the 5-on-5 clashes that we could be shortly. So they need to either get Shonix to catch up, or they're gonna have to start kicking the strat into gear. The longer they wait, the stronger TNC gets, because they're making more use of their lanes.
Disruptor just bought a Midas.
Yep.
12 minutes in, this guy is rolling in cash. And actually I just realized TNC Ayo, this is something he does. I've seen at one point where he was 27 minutes in on a Chen. He was more farmed than Pos 2. He was the second most farmed hero on his team. Ags, Greaves, and almost a Shivas.
Called greedy support. You're able to get away with it. It's so worth it.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know how he just makes all these crazy clutch plays, and he farms up so quickly. Like, he plays the support hero like a core, and still fulfilling his support duties. So give him credit every single time.
Breakthrough from Taring. They need to make something happen here, and if they run to a lot of heroes, they have everything available. Clips, Ravid, Eye of the Storm, everything. Wish to Death Ward. They could run into Cuckoo, but you would rather run into this Gyro. Oh, they're gonna run into him as well. T runs right into
they will, and he's gonna run away.
Actually, they're getting their attention.
Fall down. Alright, Luna does get a kill, but priority target was definitely key, and I think they're happy that the Venge tanks bulk off the smoke gank. And this means that Sandwich continues to free farm the top lane. I mean, he already has the Vlads. He can go into a blink if he wants to. 1,876 gold
Radiant's
cores
bottom
and their net
tower
worth.
is under
Like, the
attack.
discrepancy is so huge. It's
Radiant
reaching a
structures
10k
are
gold lead at
fortified.
14 minutes in. The power of the Death Ball Drow strat is just too strong. I mean, one thing I forgot to mention as well is that
Radiant's
TNC,
bottom
they're one of the
tower has
few
fallen.
teams in C where
Dire's
they
middle
have the
tower
highest,
is under
one of the
attack.
highest success rates with Drow strats.
It's their signature hero. It's anything. If you don't rename Drow Ranger, you would rename it to TNC. I don't know what the words would be, but eventually you can probably ask TNC their team logo to Drow.
Is under attack.
Drow Vector something. It would absolute Drow is their signature hero. It looks like, but now they're trying to use it as bait to keep everyone on Taring on their side of the map, and it looks like it's working because Drow easy. Here comes some support. Rapid just got convict a lot of these heroes.
Actually,
They
maybe
do.
not.
I don't think they can. Well, they
He
get
will
one.
kill one, but Raven, well, he does have the Aegis. NJ gonna die his T. It seems he's gonna pop. Oh, actually, he might get the kill here. He's gonna go for NJ. He wants to keep on going as the Gyro, the double kill, going for the triple. He will get the triple, and if this haste he's just gonna run away. Disruptor's gonna kill Yamati as Raven. Well, he still has the Aegis. Gonna think about going on Shionix with the ball, slowing him down. And this haste rune just making all the difference in the world for the Gyrocopter. Not to mention he has the face boots and lace. Windlace OP. I mean, I also want to point out that the Razor, when he tried to go for a solo kill onto the Disruptor, I mean, yeah, you were worried about the glimpse, but the thing is, the Disruptor didn't even have to use it. He was just outrunning the Razor because of the Tranquil Boots movement, including the Windlace. He's running at 405. He's actually a super fast support right now. You look at Earth Spirit, you look at Witch Doctor, 340, 55, even Luna, who's one of the quickest heroes in the game, 375. No way you catch the Disruptor that easily.
Absolutely, and I guess like that's also the added bonus of having a mount because your Disruptor himself isn't running, something else is.
Is that a
So,
Stingray?
It's a axolotl, I think.
It's a Valakul. I'm not sure what a Valakul is, but it looks like a Stingray.
There's no description because Valve does not like to add lore to their items anymore. Second to the mid lane though, NJ's run into Cuckoo.
Oh, Teehee. Missile's gonna land into Yamate and the roar into Shionix. If he dies here, he may consider popping the ult. Yes, he will. Actually, no, he's gonna die. Lings are gonna die as well. He's gonna triple kill for Teehee. Godlike streak, and they're gonna go for more. TNC on fire with this Drow strat. NJ one cooked Leviathan going your way, served up and ready.
Oh god, that was a whole fray of going in the way of 17-10. Every 7 minutes into this game,
Dire's
you've
middle tower
got
is under
a
attack.
high amount of kills, high ground happening at 7 minutes as well. Taring, it's too early on, you really don't want to be
Dire's middle tower
buybacks,
has
but I feel
fallen.
like Taring don't, they're just going to lose a set of Raxes. It's like they're just saying, okay, it's okay, we're gonna let you take the racks, we'll come back, but the BKB on Drow! There is nothing Taring that's going the Drow locked down. Like, I suppose you could throw the Death Ward at her, you can steal a little bit of a damage with Static Link, but outside of that, there's nothing that's going to control Raven. And
Have you seen the
US
Disruptor's
Aegis.
net worth?
I don't want to.
He has higher net worth than the Luna.
It's just, I think the main reason, not even I think, the main reason outside of the Midas is TNC have taken almost all of Taring's outer tower outside of one T2, whereas for Taring
Roshana.
they've only taken one T1 and Roshana, like 12.
I'm just gonna take a quick look at the KDA, okay? Gyro is 9-0 and 6. Your Disruptor is 4-4-3. Your Drow is 2-0 and 7. I mean, base mass is 0-3-8, but if you look at the KDA on Taring's side, I mean, your Yamate is 3-6 and 2. Shionix is just 2-2-2. Everyone else hasn't been doing that much, so I don't even know what to think of this game anymore because Taring, it looks like their expiration date is slowly approaching, or not slowly, it's rapidly approaching.
What happens when you leave your milk in a hot environment? Buys much quicker. BKB done on the Gyro. There's so many BKBs coming from TNC. Only 8 as well. Getting a BKB early is gonna have such, because early on you're not gonna have access to big items. You're not relying a lot on right clicks. Early on you rely on magical
The
damage.
spot of the smoke, the scan
That
coming up from
scan.
TNC. It's so annoying. This is what I love to see about games, whenever they use the scans, you just have to say it boils down to amazing game sense and years of experience in Dota. And Tihi, well, he's gonna run south, trying to find Yamate, the creep wave. Nope, that got him up, but actually, can he find the kill? He needs to use the missile. Pop the kinetic field, but they won't find. But actually, there's a glimpse in the vision of the Yamate, and he's gonna get glimpsed back into the loving missiles of Tihi, who guns him down, shoots the lightning revenant to the ground.
Oh, that's such a kill. All of a sudden, seconds down, no buyback.
Nice.
D push. Yeah, poor Ice. Like, Ice can't do anything at home, but he would rather be able to try and go for a snipe.
The words of the Singapore legend. Stay in the trees.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I wish Hi was able to fully come back into competitive.
He is. He plays for a Chinese team now. White Fries game.
Does. I wish like he was hating.
Nah, there's no way. I actually fear for the Singapore scene because a lot of the players are either entering the army or when they're done. Common belief in Singapore, yeah, it's common belief in Singapore that the only way to actually have a Dota career is to just leave the country. Not gonna lie.
I won't blame them.
Yeah, alright, all link. Fuku's gonna stop him in and he's gonna tank the whole Eclipse, but he's okay with that. Because when you waste it on a support like your Venge, who was the suicide bomber, it doesn't matter. They get a lane of racks and then just two racks just disappear like Lego blocks.
20 minutes. One set of Raxes and a Rax. This early on, like, Taring is not going to be able to leave base. If you look at their heroes, they don't have the best heroes in terms of clearing creep waves. Luna is okay, but Raider, not the best. Hyde relies on Anchor Smash. Earth Spirit, obviously not the best. And Witch Doctor only has the cask. He's not able to clear creep waves effectively, so you can see, like, at this point, 20 minutes in, they've secured themselves the map because they know Taring's unable to really do anything without leaving the rest of their base to siege from potential creatures.
Well, saying that Taring, won't be able to leave the base, prefer to think of it from an optimistic point of view. TNC simply wants to serve the creeps to them, the mega creeps.
Unfortunately, they don't gold as regular creeps.
Hey, if it's gold, it's gold. You take it. You don't complain. Beggars
I
can
don't
be
know
choosy.
if you want to die from your own gold, but okay. If that's what you think, that's fine. I'd rather not die to have my money.
No, fuzzy logic has failed. Danny is not impressed. Oh well. Final push to the top lane will calm. There's range racks standing mid, looking very, very lonely. TNC Cuckoo is just like, guys, I got the creep wave here. Let's go.
Is Taring going for a cute play here? They
It's not
see
the cute
TNC.
play.
Do they have smoke? Not smoke. They're just gonna go in for a wraparound, but the Hawk is gonna send them out.
Hawkerinos. Oh wait, keeps the Hawk alive. The heat gonna change and Yamate, they will be forced to fire the Roar Ravage. Doesn't really only land into AO. The BKB will save him, but the Razor's the first one down. Deleted. He may be forced to buy back. Shonik's gonna die, doesn't even get the damage output out, and Yamate calls it. He's frustrated. 22 minutes in. Well, I talked about the potential for a quick game. This quick enough for you, Daniel?
I never said anything about being a quick game. You're the one that wanted the short game. I didn't mind if long or short.
Don't expose me, no!
Hold you out. So, congratulations to a very convincing game to. I think a lot of us were expecting to show up like this in all of their games today, but Taring gave them a run for their money. For Taring to be able to get the game off of TN does show that they, as a